Welcome to Royalty Channel. We're heading to Switzerland inside the glacier and to be on top of the Swiss Alps. We're heading from Paris and driving through the countryside of Switzerland. I must say it's a beautiful, beautiful sight to see. The greenery, the place is nice and fresh. I don't even think the pictures show how well and how beautiful the place is, but it does look like nothing has ever touched some of these land spaces that you see. The air just feels so much different from, honestly, from America or from any big city. It has that coolness about it. And we were traveling around mid-afternoon or late afternoon, around 1 o'clock, and it felt like a really nice early morning breeze the whole time. It wasn't cold, but was very comfortable, but it had that fresh, crisp air about it. While we're driving, there's a lot of scenes. You see different mountains. Unfortunately, the side that I was on, I wasn't able to see a lot of the waterfalls, but there are a lot of waterfalls everywhere. The rain came and it only added to the beauty of the place. And it brought like maybe 3 rainbows, but I think I was able to caught like 2 distinctive ones. But it's a beautiful countryside. I'm not sure, I can't say what area this was, because like I said, we're just driving through from Paris into Switzerland, and I'm not sure when we transitioned from France into Switzerland. There was no like sign that says welcome to Switzerland, so I know we were there based off of the language change later on, so I was able to tell it. My Switzerland room, tiny, not sure why we got 3 beds, but the view is spectacular. And a view of part of the Swiss Alps mountain and Switzerland. Somebody's backyard with a vineyard. Totally awesome. So not like America's room where you have a lot of stuff. So simple. But I got 3 beds, so guess that counts. And the bathroom. That's it for the bathroom. These pictures don't really do justice to the beauty of how lush and fresh everything looked around. The flowers, the brightness of the flowers, the brightness of the green of the grass, the trees, and the crispness of the air. It was in May that I was in Switzerland, and in the US it was still cold, but the grass, in comparison to at that time of the year in Switzerland, was 2 different things. It was cold in Switzerland, but the flowers were still blooming. Everything still looked fresh. It looks more spring and summer as far as the plants, but it was a beautiful place to see. We didn't hear much, and then when we did get time to leave, everybody rode a bicycle. Like, the place was quiet. There was not a lot of cars, but a lot of people rode bicycle to get to where they're going. Even just going to the train station, I noticed that the kids rode the bike, left it there, and then they went on the train to go to school. Heading to the Swiss Alps, we took 2 trains. There was, I guess, the public transportation train that we took, and then we had to catch the actual train that goes to the glacier. The first train was a little bit much faster. As I say, it's like a train that people take to work or from home. But then the train that went to the Swiss Alps, it was more just for that purpose, to go up and down the glacier, which was very, very high. As you'll see later on in the video, that point of Switzerland is the highest point of Europe. You can see, I think, maybe 4 countries, like in the summer or spring, depends on where you are, you're able to see 4 different countries. I think Germany and Belgium, and I think Poland is one, or a few of them when you're up there. But everything was just, it was just picture perfect. It was so beautiful in terms of the color of the trees. Everything just seemed greener and brighter. You didn't see a lot of people, driving around or anything like that. Not sure if it's because of the time of the year or if that's that particular area of Switzerland. So the top of Europe, it's called Jungfraujoch. Even though it's spelled with a letter J, it's pronounced Jungfraujoch. It's the highest point of Europe. Once we got inside the glacier, it's beautiful. It's divided in like several different caves. Each section had different things. It was telling like the history of how they created the different things inside of the glacier itself. Then there are parts that are just entertaining with lights. There are animals or figures that they carved out of the ice, and it stays like that because you're inside literally like an igloo. The whole place is just covered with ice. So the sculptures are well kept and preserved throughout that time. When you walk through some of the different sections, it's like you're on an ice skating ring, so you have to be like very, very careful. But some of the sculptures are so beautiful. They look just like crystals, but of course, it's just ice that you're in. If you are supposed to ever visit the glacier, please bring a decent jacket or sweater. It wasn't cold per se, but there are parts of the glacier inside that was really chilly because it was more ice from what they explained to us. Some parts the ice fall heavier or the snow fall heavier. So no matter what, those sections are really, it's just ice or snow on top of snow that we're pretty much walking through. And you see this video. They polished the floor. It's very slippery, so that's another thing. Make sure you have like some decent boots on. They have rails that you can hold on to help prevent you from falling, but I would still suggest that you wear maybe like some rugged boots, some hiking type boots that has a really good rubber bottom to go through. And of course, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the views, because there's a lot of ice sculptures that is within the glacier. Another thing to remember also, when you're going inside, the air gets really thin. Like it's similar to as if you were in an airplane, so your ears get clogged up. So breathing is much harder because you're over 11,000 feet above sea level. So they caution you to walk slowly, not to race. I heard that, but I didn't listen because I was so excited to be in the Swiss Alps. So when I was going up, I was walking so fast, I started getting lightheaded. So I had to stop for a minute and, got my balance, get my bearings. I did enjoy the rest of the day, but I still felt like a little woozy throughout the time by the time I descended from the Swiss Alps. So yeah, bring some water. Definitely take your time and control your breathing as you walk into the glaciers, because it's your breathing is gonna get more shallow, so you got to keep that in mind. Finally, I went outside, which is the part that I was really hoping for, to be on top of the Swiss Alps. When I stepped out, I was literally stepping in clouds, not fog, but clouds. It was a very beautiful experience. For me to leave a small island like Jamaica to be in Switzerland, it was awesome. The pictures would tell you everything, how I was feeling. Stopped at the souvenir store. They had the Lindt chocolate, because Switzerland is also known for their chocolate as well. Not that they grow any, but they're known for that. But it was pretty exciting. I hope that you guys are able to visit. But if you're not able to visit, this video was able to make you feel like you were there with me on an awesome trip.